Ladies and gentlemen, you truly are in for a treat today because for some of you guys, you're coming into this video with zero Facebook ad experience. For some of you guys, you might be coming in with, a moderate or intermediate level of knowledge when it comes to Facebook ads. So whatever stage you are at, I will take you from that to full-blown expert by the end of today's video. In fact, I've even gone ahead and broken everything down into timestamps below. So if you want to skip to a certain section, you can go ahead and do that. Just make sure you stay around until the end of the video because I'm doing a massive giveaway you will not want to miss. And on that note, let's get into today's training. So ladies and gentlemen, Facebook Ads Masterclass Step-by-Step 2022. Here is what we will cover: why advertise on Facebook, all assets you're going to need to basically start advertising, how to set up your Facebook page, how to set up your business manager, how to create your first campaign, how to define your budget, how to evaluate results, as well as how to optimize your campaigns. So why advertise on Facebook? Well, it's pretty simple. We've got 1.93 billion daily active users. We have 28 billion total ad revenue every single year. And you're gonna find that you'll spend roughly $1 cost per click and $11.54 CPM. Now, if you don't know what CPM means, don't worry. Stick around in this video and I'll show you exactly why. Now, why do I advertise on Facebook? Well, that's a great question. And to answer that, you need to look at my two main companies. So IAG Media right there is my advertising agency that I started at the age of 16 while I was still in high school to support me and my mom. I've been running that for 5.5 years. Having an advertising agency is about as cool as having an accounting firm. It's really not, like a crazy, exciting lifestyle. What is crazy exciting about it is the money that it gives you, the free cash flow, because the margins and the profits are so good from it that I can, have my CMO, or at least now after 5.5 years of running it, I can have my CMO who runs it. I only need to work 4 or 5 hours a week on it, which by the way, that's after 5.5 years. So don't think you'll have this in the first year. Okay. Like it's not easy, but it's simple to build up. And every year you need to do less and less to attract higher and higher paying clients. But as I said, now 5.5 years on at this point, it makes me anywhere from $1.2 to $1.5 million a year profit. And with that, you can do some pretty cool things with your lifestyle. So yeah, that is my advertising agency. So that's a big reason why we advertise, even though I never touch any of my clients' ad accounts anymore and haven't for like 2 years now. So that's that. Then I also actually run the biggest education company on earth that helps other agency owners, primarily in non-competing industries, start. And we help people who literally just are in university or have a day job and they just want a lifestyle business that can help them have financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom, and scale up to 10K a month. We help that subsection of people, all the way from the agencies who are already doing $500,000 a year profit and want to get to $1 million a year profit, and also just kind of streamline their system. So in that business, we actually don't do a lot of it. Pretty much 95% of our business is organic, but we still do some advertising in that business to bring in new customers. Also to mention, at my agency, the way that we get most of our clients, except for referrals these days, as I said, once you do something for 5.5 years, you build up a long track record, is ads. So the way that we bring in new clients who don't know us is we advertise. So we actually advertise to get clients, and then we advertise for our clients. So yeah, that's a little bit about why I personally advertise on Facebook. Anyways, let's move on. Here are some benefits of advertising on Facebook. First things first, sell more. Okay, you can advertise your product or service and send people to your website to purchase. You can generate leads. Okay, so you can use Facebook adverts to collect names, emails, phone numbers, and more directly from your targeted customers. You can also use Facebook ads to distribute content. Facebook and Instagram are also the ideal places to distribute the content you create and maximize your reach. You can also use it for app installs. Okay, you can advertise app on Facebook and Instagram and generate more downloads because of it. So there are a few different value propositions. First things first is testing. All right, Facebook is the perfect sandbox to mass test your offer. Whether you're on a budget or you have venture capital backing up your business, you can get results in as little as a day, and you can validate whether this product actually works and whether the market even wants your product. Next thing, targeting. Facebook is by far the ad network with the most information about their users. Now, this allows us as advertisers to micro segment our target and reach our exact ideal customers. Not only that, but their machine intelligence works so well that most of the times you don't even have to use targeting at all, since it already knows exactly the type of users who are most likely to respond to your ads. Then we have CPC. Now, the real beauty of Facebook is that they only charge you once you get a click. And you can get clicks for as low as 1 cent, although, that's not very common. Average cost per clicks we see is anywhere from, 30 cents all the way up to $2, depending on your market and country. And last thing is predictability. On Facebook, when you dial in your funnel and your offer, you can consistently put $1 in and get $2, $3, $5, hell, even $10 out with predictability. As the saying goes, the most dependable and consistent way to generate wealth is to turn advertising into profit. So let's talk about the assets you're going to need to actually start advertising. First things first is a business manager. Now, a business manager is the container that holds all of your business assets. So within your business manager will live the ad accounts, the pages, the pixels, as well as the payment methods. Now, below your business manager, we have ad accounts, right? So you'll have one business manager, and inside your business manager, you can have 5 ad accounts. So this is where you create all of your campaigns. And as I said, you can have multiple ad accounts per business manager. Then we have your page, right? So the Facebook page is where your ads will actually run from. Then moving on, we have your domain. Now, Facebook now requires you to verify the ownership of your domain in order to drive ads to it. Moving on, pixel. Now, the pixel is simply a piece of code you put on your website that will track all the visitors' actions for you. So you can actually track what sort of results your ads are yielding. And then we have payment method, simple enough. Now, if you already have all the assets set up, you can actually skip to the following timestamp for the campaign creation step by step. But if you don't, let me run you through it. So let's talk about creating a Facebook page. Now, I will leave the link in the description for page creation, as well as a guide made by Facebook on how to create it. The key here is to use real brand information, as well as giving Facebook as much info as possible about your business, because this way you're creating more trust with them and letting them know that you are a real and serious business. And this will really help you down the line, because as you may know, these days it doesn't take much for Facebook to decide to disable your ad account. So the more virtue signaling you can give Facebook, the better. Now, having your ad account disabled is very, very common, and there's always coming back from it. It's just part of the game these days. So if you ever have an ad account shut down or whatever, don't worry. Like, we have had, between us and all of our clients, I don't even want to know. It's in the hundreds and hundreds of ad accounts shut down, potentially even the thousands at this point, right? It's more rare to advertise. Well, I guess it also depends what industry you're in. For the industry we work in, e-commerce and education companies, it's almost more rare to have your ad account not shut down than it is to have it shut down. So don't ever worry or stress if your ad account does go down. Now, let's talk about step-by-step on how to create your page. First things first, you're gonna go to that link to sign up. You're gonna select the type of page you wanna create, whether that's business/brand or community/public figure. You're gonna enter in your business information. For category, type a word or two that describes your business, and Facebook will suggest some options. Add profile and cover pictures, create your page's username, and then add your business details. So things like description, contact, location, hours, website. I have a bonus tip for you. Make sure that before you run ads, your page has at least 20 posts. This way, Facebook sees it as a real page. And we recommend you post at least 3 times a day for the first 7 days, and then you can decrease that frequency to once a day. Now, just make sure you always keep your page active, because this will increase your page longevity as well as relevance score. Once you've done that, let's move on to step number 2, which is creating your business manager. Now, the business manager is a tool designed to be your primary hub on Facebook to manage all of your pages, ad accounts, domains, and other assets. I will leave a link in the description for the actual page you need to go to in order to create a business manager. Once again, make sure you use as much real info here as possible. As I said, this is what the link looks like. So you will click on create account and fill up the information with your real business data. Make sure to use a work email address as well. So no @Gmail. Just the less reasons you give Facebook to look at it and be like, something just looks a little off here, the better. Okay, so try to use a business email if possible. Next, confirm the creation of your business manager by clicking on the link in the email. Once again, here's another little bonus tip for you. Make sure you go through the business verification process as soon as it is available on your business manager. This will verify that your business is an actual registered business and add another extra layer of security to your business manager, an essential step when it comes to avoiding bans. Now, moving on, creating your ad account. Now, your ad account, as mentioned, is the container that will hold all of your ad campaigns. It is an entity that lives inside of your business manager. Now, in order to create your ad account, go to business settings inside of your business manager, click on ad accounts, click on add, and create new. Now, simply name the ad account whatever you want. This is only for internal purposes, and select your time zone and currency. Now, make sure that your time zone corresponds to your currency. So US time zones must use US dollar as its currency, for example. Otherwise, you'll have problems when trying to run ads. Your ads won't deliver, and you will have to create a new account. Here's another little bonus tip for you. At the beginning, you will only have permission to create 1 ad account per business manager. As soon as Facebook charges your card for the first time, this limit is raised to 3 ad accounts per business manager, and I highly encourage that you create all 3 as soon as they are available to have as contingencies, basically to have as backup options. Now, connecting your page. Okay, we need to connect the page you created to your business manager so that way you can run ads on it. So go to business settings inside your business manager, click on pages, then click add and add a page. Then simply search for your page here and select it. Since you are already an admin of your own page, you won't need to do any further confirmation. And this is kind of what it looks like. Anyways, moving on to the payment method. Okay, now we have to add a payment method to your ad account so that Facebook can charge you. And this is basically what the payment method page looks like. So you're gonna go to your business settings inside of your business manager. You're gonna go to payment methods tab and simply add your card. You can also connect a PayPal account or bank account directly. Just a little side note, I strongly discourage PayPal. For some reason, it seems to increase the likeliness that you'll have ad account shutdowns. I don't know why. Facebook just doesn't seem to like it. And the other thing is either your client, if you have an agency, or you personally, if your card keeps getting declined, once again, Facebook really doesn't like that, and it might lead to ad account shutdowns. So if a client has that issue, like for example, we've had clients where they have they have their Amex and the charge always goes through. There is never, ever an issue with them. And with them, it's fine. They can rack up the Amex points, all is good. But sometimes they might have another credit card provider and they're constantly blocking or declining the payments. As I said, that can cause a real big issue when it comes to advertising. So with those clients, I know they don't get the points or this or that, but at least their ads don't constantly keep getting paused, which is basically what happens when Facebook can't build the card on file. So with those clients specifically, or if this is happening to you, then just go ahead and do a direct I think it's direct debit, it's called. Basically, where Facebook can just bill your bank account, right off the bat. They don't have to charge the card, because then that way there's never any declines ever. Now, another little bonus tip, and to be honest, I kind of just alluded to that in the last section, but make sure you never use your card on your client's account. They should always add their own card so that, number one, they're billed directly from Facebook without having you as an intermediary. And number two, the billing information is consistent throughout their account, meaning the business name on their account info is the same as the one on the credit card being charged. This will avoid any account hold due to billing issues. Next, verifying your domain. Now, domain verification provides a way for you to sort of claim ownership of your domain in Facebook Business Manager. This has become a must in order to run ads since the iOS 14 update. Now, there are 3 different ways to verify your domain: DNS verification, HTML verification, and meta tag verification. Only one of these methods is needed. Now, you can learn more about them in more detail in the link I'll leave in the description, but here I will go over the DNS verification method, which is the one we use most often at our agency. So, how to verify your domain. Go to the business settings inside your business manager and click on the domains tab, click add new domain, choose the DNS verification option and copy the code provided. Now log into your domain registrar and visit the DNS settings page, add a new DNS record of the type TXT, enter @ in the hostname field if required. Then in the content field, you can paste the verification TXT record provided in Business Manager. Then simply return to Business Manager and click verify. Now this process will be a bit different for each person depending on the domain registrant used, but it should be pretty similar to the one showed here. Okay, so if you have any issues during this process, try Googling how to add TXT DNS record on, and then whoever your domain registrant name is, right? Next, creating your Facebook pixel. Now, the only thing missing before we actually get into creating our ad campaigns is creating and installing our Facebook pixel. Now, the pixel is just a little piece of code that you put on all of your website's pages. It acts as an informant for Facebook, giving information about what actions the users on your website are performing. This is how Facebook is able to track how many clicks your ads got, how many conversions it generated, which can be either purchases, leads, views, or other actions such as, adding a product to the cart or initiating checkout, and how much revenue was actually generated from these conversions. Now, in order to do this, you go to the Events Manager inside your Business Manager, click Connect to Data Sources and select Web, select Facebook Pixel, and then click Connect, add your pixel name, enter your website URL to check for easy setup options, and then click Continue. Now, in terms of actually installing the Facebook pixel, there are 2 main ways of installing the pixel on your website. Number 1 is pasting its code directly into the header of all of your pages. This way, the Facebook pixel takes care of tracking everything for you. Or second, connecting it through the new Facebook Conversions API. This way, you collect the data directly on your site and then feed this data back to Facebook through their API. This is also known as, sorry if this gets a bit more technical for some of you guys, but basically this is known as server-side tracking. Now, just setting this up could be a standalone video. However, all the major website builders such as WordPress, ClickFunnels, Leadpages, Shopify, WooCommerce, Webflow, etc., right? They all have native integrations where you can simply paste your pixel ID and everything is automatically set up for you. All right. They all have step-by-step comprehensive documentation on how to set this up. So what I encourage you to do, rather, because I can't make 7 little micro videos for each one of those website builders. Okay. What I encourage you to do is actually just to Google how to install Facebook Pixel on, and then whatever the name of the website builder is. You will definitely find everything you need with that. So now we actually kind of get into some more exciting stuff, which is actually creating your campaigns. Now, before we do that, let's talk about the 3 layers of a campaign. Now, the 3 layers are, well, first of all, campaign, ad sets, and ads. Now, a campaign is our top level layer where we choose our primary advertising goal. Now, this could be conversions, post engagement, lead generation, video views, or traffic, amongst other things. Now, most of the times we are going to be optimizing for conversions. Now, the ad set is the second layer that sits inside a campaign. Now, one campaign could have one, or it could have multiple ad sets. And the ad set is where we select our targeting, bids, placements, schedule, and budget, okay? Which I will say is in the case of if we are doing ad set budget optimization, not optimizing the budget at the campaign level. Now, the third layer is the ad. Now, one ad set can have one, or it could have multiple ads. Now, the ad is the actual advertisement you see on your Facebook and Instagram. It holds the copy, the headline, the image, or the video of the ad, as well as the URL destination of it. So this is how it actually looks inside of the Business Manager. At the top, you see the 3 levels from left to right. Now, in terms of creating a campaign, first select your objective. Now, this is really a matter of asking yourself, what do you want as a result of the campaign? Is it leads? Is it website visitors? Is it purchases on your stores? Visitors to a physical store? Views? The answer of this question will dictate your campaign objective, but I will give you some bonus tips. We usually create one campaign per offer to keep things organized and to not mess with each campaign's own optimization. We also like to set campaigns just for testing and a campaign just for prospecting. Now, we usually create one campaign to test audiences, one campaign to test creatives, and then one campaign to test different landing pages. Then the winners from each of these campaigns gets promoted to a prospecting campaign that has all the best creatives, the best audiences, and the best landing pages. Now, ideally, you should set around 70 to 80% of your budget to prospecting campaigns and 20 to 30 to testing. Another thing is using ad set level budget for testing campaigns. This way, making sure each ad set gets enough spend to make a statistically significant decision. Now, for prospecting campaigns, we like to use campaign level budget optimization because they are usually more consistent and require less upkeep. So hopefully that wasn't too intense and I managed to explain it simply enough. So let's get back into it. Now it's time to create our ad sets. So first things first is define your targeting. To do so, think about the majority of your customers and answer, how old are they? What gender? What do they like? What are they interested in? Try to picture this ideal client in your head and use the targeting options Facebook gives you to select them, especially the demographic part of it. Now, when it comes to interest targeting, we usually select one at a time so we can test which ones work and which ones don't with the least number of variables possible. Now, here's a little bonus tip for you once again, and that is that one of our historically best performing audiences across all industries is broad targeting. This means no segmentation at all. Now, this lets Facebook use their algorithm at full steam without limitations and gives them the power to decide which user should see your ad. Now, their machine learning is so powerful and has so much data that this tends to work better than micromanaging your targeting options. Plus, the more data you feed the machine through your pixel, the better the broad audiences work. Now, as a general rule of thumb, we like to always select audiences that are quite large and avoid small audiences. Now, when your audiences are too small, your campaigns end up with delivery problems, such as way too high frequency, and your CPMs, which basically is how much you spend to get 1,000 impressions, skyrockets. Now, for our advertisements to work profitably, we need to keep our CPMs as low as possible, and targeting large, broad audiences helps a lot with that. So don't be afraid of it. Facebook knows who should see your ads, no matter how different your product or service may be. Now, pay close attention. Here, we will start talking about the ad creatives. And if you could only take one thing from this training and throw everything else in the trash, that should be to focus on ad creatives. There's no other activity or tactic or hack that you could use in your campaigns, targeting, bidding, or any other element of your ad campaign that is going to yield such high returns as your creatives. A great creative can work with bad targeting, bad campaign structure, bad campaign optimization, and bad bidding strategies. However, having the perfect targeting, flawless campaign structure, impeccable campaign optimization, and highly optimized bidding strategies cannot save a campaign with bad creatives. So always keep that in mind when creating your ad campaigns. Creatives are our biggest lever in advertising, and 80% of your focus should be on developing better creatives and testing more variations of them. Then we actually choose our ad format. Now, a single image ad is just a simple ad with an image creative. Now, this is the most used type of ad that you usually see running on your newsfeed, but don't mistake simple with bad. We have made our clients millions, and well, not even millions, multi 8 figures with just simple image ads. Next, there's video ads. Now, video ads are by far our best performing ads, and there's no limit on how long your video can be, and you can take advantage of it to convey emotions and actually show your product's benefits and use cases in practice, which you are not able to do with just image ads, in most cases that is. And the trick for making video ads work is having a strong hook at the beginning to grab people's attention, having a dynamic video to actually keep people watching, and having a strong call to action at the end. Next, we move on to carousels. Now, these are a great way to showcase multiple products you have or create a slide presentation of your services or even of your content. This usually gets a higher CPM, so you really have to test to gauge whether they are worth running or not in your case. Next, we have collections. Now, with collections, you can take advantage of Facebook Instant Experience features. So it's kind of an on-platform website that loads before loading your actual website. Now, the great advantage of these type of ads is that they take more screen real estate than regular ads, so they tend to have higher click-through rates. Now, let me give you guys some more ninja bonus tips, okay? Now, you can try and test all those different formats, but at the end of the day, what really matters is the image video itself that you choose to use in your ad paired with a great piece of copy. And there are 3 keys to creating high-performing ads. Number 1, they have to entice you to stop the scroll. The ad needs to be attention grabbing to the point where it is more interesting for the user to stop scrolling than it is to keep scrolling. Now, this is achieved with your video/image, and it ideally should trigger a reaction from the user in the moment they see it. Number 2, they have to get the click. Now, the ad should give a strong reason for the user to click on your website. Now, the best way to achieve this is through curiosity. Now, avoid being all clickbaity because this will get your ads rejected, but learn how to add enough curiosity in order to get the click. And the last thing, it shouldn't look like an ad. Nowadays, we get bombarded with so many ads that by default, we have banner blindness within us. So as soon as we see something that looks remotely like an ad, we just tend to ignore it. Ideally, your ad should look like a post from a friend on the user's newsfeed or stories. Next, let's talk about writing your ad copy. Now, the key to writing ad copy on Facebook is not focusing on benefits or making promises about the end result, as you see on most copywriting courses. And the reason this is the case is because if you make any type of claims in your ads, your account will most likely be disabled. So you want to keep it as low key and under the radar as possible. So this is why you can talk about the features of your product. Another thing that works really well for us is telling a story or using a metaphor/analogy to get a point across. But you should avoid at all costs any results-oriented claims, health-related claims. You should not use personal attributes on your ads, avoiding at all costs being clickbaity or sensationalist using words like fantastic, wonderful, secret, unbelievable. Facebook really doesn't like this stuff. Next is understanding what dictates success, because no matter what business you are in, most likely your most important metric that dictates success is going to be return on ad spend, which we call ROAS. So you always have to keep an eye on it. But not only that, you should also pay attention to what influences your ROAS to go up and down. And for this, you have to understand the 3 metrics that impact ROAS. And they are, first things first, cost per click, second, conversion rate, and then average order value. Now, cost per click is, as the name suggests, how much you pay for one click. Now, this is a function of 2 other metrics, CPM and click-through rate. Your CPM depends on the audience and countries you're targeting, but also on how good your ad is. So if Facebook considers your ad to be bad, you'll be penalized with high CPMs. If Facebook likes your ad, meaning it gets a lot of engagement and clicks, you will be rewarded with low CPMs. Next is conversion rate. Now, the conversion rate is how many people buy your product/service out of all the ones that click on your ad. Now, if your conversion rate is too low, the math is never going to work in your favor. That's why it's also important to invest in conversion rate optimization, because this has a direct correlation on how well your ads perform. A good conversion rate really depends on your industry and pricing of your product. But as a general rule of thumb, we like to have above 2% for e-commerce brands and above over 1% for education companies. Then we have average order value, or AOV. Now, this is how much revenue you get out of one purchase on average. So if you manage to make your users spend more per order, your average order value goes up, and so does your ROAS. And you can increase your average order value by adding post-purchase upsells and experimenting with different product pricing. So let's talk about how to actually define your budget. Now, your budget is one of the most important elements of your ads, and you can both set it at an ad set level and a campaign level. Now, at IG Media, we like to use ad set level budgeting for testing new things, and then campaign level budget for prospecting campaigns. So as in, once we've already tested something and we know an ad set works, then it'll go into sort of like the full production campaign. And then from there, we will use campaign budget optimization. Now, how much should your budget be? Great question. Now, this will largely vary on a case-by-case basis, but we like to keep it as a general rule of thumb to never go below 0.5x product price. Now, this means that following this rule, we would let Facebook spend per ad set at least half the price of our product, which would equal a 2x ROAS in case we get a purchase with this budget. Now, if you go below that, you are not giving Facebook enough of a budget to test with. For example, if you sell a $2,000 product and you only test with $20 a day during 3 days, you only gave Facebook $60 to try to get a $2,000 purchase. So that would mean a 33.3x return on ad spend in case you got a purchase, which is just a little too unrealistic. So when testing, you always have to keep in mind the price of your product and be realistic with it, okay? Don't expect to invest a few bucks and get a sale out of it. Also, you have to invest enough in order to give Facebook enough data to optimize from. Ideally, if you have the budget for it, you should test everything with at least 1x the price of your product. Now, when it comes to prospecting campaigns, there's no rules for it, okay? It should be set to as high as you can, as long as it is bringing in sales profitably, okay? Now, we do like to keep prospecting campaigns at around 70 to 80% of the overall account budget, and then the other 20 or 30% goes to the testing campaigns. Now, when optimizing your campaigns, we always have your end result in mind. So know your target KPIs and compare them to current results of your campaigns and adjust accordingly. Now, let's talk about how to actually optimize your campaigns, because the first thing to note here is the length of your customer journey, meaning how long does it take from the moment a user clicks on your ad to the moment they buy? Now, for some businesses, it can take 7 days. For others, it is almost instant. And for some, it can take more than 30 days. So take this period into consideration when evaluating results. For example, if your customer takes on average 3 days to convert, it doesn't make sense to evaluate the results from yesterday on your campaigns, because you have to give it the full 3 days to have complete data. Now, the second point here is knowing when to kill ad sets. As we talked earlier, you have to give enough budget for Facebook to test. Then it's quite simple. After spending the full testing budget, if it hits your target KPIs, you keep it running. If it didn't, you kill it. The key here is killing it fast, okay? Don't let clear, undeniable losers run for longer than they should. This is what kills the overall performance of your ad account. Now, the 3 elements of ROAS. The final point here is identify the problems and work to solve them. As I mentioned earlier, ROAS is composed by a function of the CPC, the conversion rate, and the AOV. So when you're evaluating ROAS, remember never to evaluate it on its own. Always have those 3 other metrics side by side to have context on why the ROAS is where it's at. Then, if it's not satisfactory, see which one of the 3 metrics is prejudicing it the most and work on fixing that specific bottleneck. Whew, ladies and gentlemen, we have broken down a lot here. We're not quite done yet, so let's keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 3 action steps for you today. First things first, I want you to click the first link in the description and book in a call with my student integration manager, Christian. We would love to see if you are a good fit for our program. And not only that, on that link, you'll get to see a 30-minute demo of Agency Navigator, which is a program that thousands and thousands of people have used to go from 0 to 10K a month in, literally as early as 30 days, but I don't like to say that. Usually the timeline we see is 90 days, 180 days. Usually the more realistic timeline we see is anywhere from 4 to 8 months with their agency with 0 initial investment. And if you thought this Facebook ads training was in depth for a free YouTube video, you should see what I have inside of Agency Navigator. We have 49 service delivery modules, everything from Google, Facebook, Snapchat, you name it, I've done it. And that is just one section of an 8-section course that also shows you step by step with live examples how to find clients, how to close them, how to find a team, how to have the team deliver the services for you, how to do accounting, how to get your mindset right, how to get your habits in order. You name it, we have it in there. Next, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the second channel, because I'm actually gonna be doing 4 uploads a week there. I'm gonna take it more seriously this year. And in there, I'm gonna do more sort of specific stuff if you're already running an agency, okay? So I'm gonna speak to you with the assumption that you already run an agency, you already have a client or 2, maybe you're already a 5K, 10K, 30, 50, even 100K a month, right? I'm gonna do some more advanced strategies on the second channel, so I'll leave that link down below as well. And last thing is I want you to leave a comment with what you thought of this video, because I'm gonna go ahead and do something very special for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and give away a coaching call for every 100 unique comments. So I'll keep the winners updated in the comments. So as I said, on the pinned comment down below, I will get Kieran, who's the product manager of my education company. Every 100 comments, he'll monitor and he will find the winner, and then he'll reach out to you, liaise with you, find some time in my calendar that works, and then he'll book in a one-on-one call with me. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you go ahead and follow all those action steps. I really put a lot of time and effort into this, so I hope that came across. And on that note, catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for sticking until this point. I know that if you've got in here, then you are hungry for more knowledge and more content. So I went ahead and specifically picked out an incredible video for you to watch next that I know you're gonna love. Check it out right there.